Welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. Last time we traveled to Eve and its satellite Gili. Today we're going to unlock all these signs and we're going to revisit some old places. For example, Mun and Minmus. Why would we do that? For a simple reason. We've unlocked some new scientific equipment and we're going to perform the science on this moon. And it is going to give us more science. Let's take our trusty Enterprise and upgrade it with the latest scientific discoveries and technologies. We're on the launch pad, weather is nominal, everything is fine. Let's perform our usual launch procedure and I'll see you in the orbit. Here we are, around 70 kilometers away from Kerbal, and our first stop will be Mun. We're going to perform a simple orbital change by taking our descent node and doing a maneuver there. That way we ensure that our orbit intersects Mun orbit where we want it. Our maneuver is ready, our burn is beginning, and next stop, Mun. We're just going to perform a couple of orbits around Kerbal until we get our close encounter or even capture by the Mun. We're also going to change our orbit a little bit, raise our periapsis so that we are not slowing down each time we're passing Kerbal. And on the first orbit, we already have a Mun encounter, something we need or want. So let's tweak it a little bit so that we are having a nice orbital trajectory around the Mun. Let's perform our correction burn. Almost there. Just a little time warp. And we're in sphere of influence of Mun. Let's perform some science in high orbit. And let's circularize our orbit around the Mun with a simple maneuver node. Let's find our maneuver and burn. On the way, staging our orbital stage, and now only have the lander, but that will be enough. And we're in circle orbit, and let's land. We go to our apoapsis, and we perform some more science, now in low orbit, and we're lowering our periapsis to around 10,000 meters. And we're close to the Moon surface. Let us perform our slow down burn, otherwise killing our lateral velocity, so that we don't crash at very high speed and don't die. And let's do the landing. Checking our radar altimeter to make sure that we are somewhere close to the ground, and landed. It will take a couple of seconds to stabilize our ship. Let's perform our usual science package, the gravioli detector, the seismic detector. Let's plant another flag, Mun-Minmus Scientific Explorer, take a soil sample and face plant. Jebediah is taking all necessary steps to return to his ship and to return into the orbit. As Moon's gravity is much lower than Kerbin's and we don't have any atmosphere, we can perform our gravity return right away. We can even actually burn directly to the horizon, straight away from the liftoff. It will be a bit hard, but theoretically possible. And here we are in our orbit. Let's select Mun-Minmus as our target, because that is our next stop. And unfortunately our inclination is not particularly good, so we have to change it at descending node or ascending node. Doesn't really matter at which. Now burn is done. Let's create a maneuver node at an ascending node and execute it. Almost there. Done. Now all we have to do is to change our orbit a little bit so that it intersects orbits of Minmus and do the usual orbiting stuff until we have a close encounter or even the capture. So I'm too lazy to wait, so I'm going to tweak my encounter by hand, making sure that we actually get to Minmus before this age is over. And we have a nice capture with a nice periapsis. Let's execute this node. And warp until sphere of influence change. Super. Let's do our high orbit signs. Let's change our approach a little bit and circularize around Minmus. Everything seems to be in order. Our burn is progressing nicely. Our periapsis is falling. Our epiapsis is falling to 2. And here we are, in the orbit around Minmus. Now let us lower our periapsis even more, so that we can land there and create a maneuver node that will make sure that we land somewhere near the equator. Maneuver node is here. It's very tiny burn. Let's do our science in lower Minmus orbit. And perform the landing procedures. We already killed our lateral velocity, so all we have to do is to go down and to slow our descent a little bit. Our speed is falling, or actually rising, but we are making it fall. And touchdown. Nice soft landing. Let's perform our usual science package. This time we're going to use all of the available equipment. Let's take Jebediah on EVA, plant another flag. This time we'll call it Minmus Mun Scientific Explorer. And let's get Jebediah back into the spaceship. This time we're simply going to launch and perform our return maneuver to the Kerbin. So our altitude is rising, and we're going to perform our gravity turn almost straight away. We're just going to burn directly to the horizon, and now we're going to wait a little bit and burn directly at our apoapsis to make sure that we get an actual orbit. And here we go. We don't need actual circularized orbit, we then just need some kind of orbit. And now we're going to burn retrograde in the direction of Mun-Minmus orbit. By doing so, we will slow our speed relative to Kerbin and lower our periapsis to somewhere around 20 kilometers around the Kerbin surface, which will allow us to perform an aero braking maneuver and to return home without much of a fuel loss. And as you can see, it is going to be our first journey where we didn't went overkill on the fuel. We're going to just waste a tiny bit of it. Here we are, once again blazing through the atmosphere of Kerbin at velocities which are not really safe for such things. But it's Jebediah. He can do this. And our parachutes are successfully deployed. And we are almost home. Touchdown. And look at this. Even though we went only to Minmus and Mun, we got almost 100 or 1000 signs. This will allow us to unlock at least 4 another nodes and will progress our space program even further. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Remember to like, dislike and comment the video in the section below. If you like what you see and want to see more of it, please subscribe to the channel. Bye.